Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, Court approves Van's aircraft plans. Bud Anderson gone west. 47th Annual Air Race Classic details confirmed. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Court approves Van's aircraft plans. The court has approved Van's Aircraft's bankruptcy reorganization plans, settling a stressful period for the company with some pretty optimistic news. Van's Aircraft filed its Chapter 11 Plan of Reorganization back in March, setting up their ideal path to recovery amid some very expensive challenges. Van's founder, Dick Van Grumsven, and his family have stepped up to the plate to back the company's finances. That really went a long way in convincing the courts, shareholders, and clients that the Van's family is committed to sticking it out. The Plan of Reorganization will go into effect on June 1st, 2024. In a video commenting on the approval, Dick Van Grumsven appeared more chipper than before, announcing that Van's Aircraft, quote, will be back operating normally by June 1st, end quote. It shouldn't be too much of a change since most of the changes required to right the ship have been implemented throughout the last few months anyway. Now Vans is still, quote, producing kits, shipping kits, and replacement parts, end quote, with aplomb. The near-death experience managed to really corral Van's Aircraft into a more professional operation in the back office. A new slate of accounting specialists and officers will help to make sure the hobbyist origins of the business don't overtake the need to remain fiscally solvent. After the break, ALPA warns of single pilot push around the world.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/rusty today for details.
For over 30 years, the massive Sport Plane Resource Guide has provided expert, credible information, evaluations, and critical analysis of all that the sport aviation world has to offer. The all-new digital Sport Plane Resource Guide is coming with extensive multimedia features that are constantly updated, an even more comprehensive online guide to all things sport aviation. Available soon. www.sportplane.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. ALPA warns of single pilot push around the world. The Airline Pilots Association International joined hands with the AFL-CIO's Transportation Trades Department to call on U.S. regulators to, quote, aggressively advocate for at least 2 pilots on every flight deck here at home and in international forums, end quote. During a conference with the AFL-CIO's TTD Executive Committee, the response was unanimous in opposing efforts to reduce the required number of crew on the flight deck of commercial airliners. NAV Canada launches new aviation meteorology reference. NAV Canada has launched the Aviation Meteorology Reference, which they claim to be a new, first-of-its-kind and definitive guide on meteorology and aviation operations. In response to the dynamic challenges posed by weather in the aviation industry, NAV Canada, in collaboration with experts from across the aviation industry, developed the new reference as an educational tool that will complement existing weather training and course curriculums. A significant number of users, from flight schools to airport authorities and commercial airlines, have already planned to build the Aviation Meteorology Reference into their training. Jennifer Homendy gets second term as NTSB chair. Jennifer Homendy has been approved to embark on her second 3-year term as chair of the National Transportation Safety Board, coinciding with a confirmation to serve another 5-year term on the board itself. Homendy has overseen the NTSB's operations for years now, governing over 411 full-timers and almost $130 million in budget. In the aviation side of things, Homendy's official bio describes a focus on the safety of revenue flight, spanning everything from parajumping and sightseeing to hot air balloons and traditional passenger ops. CAF Tampa Bay welcomes first aircraft. The Tampa Bay wing of the Commemorative Air Force has reached a significant milestone with the delivery of their first assigned aircraft, a Fairchild PT-19A, bearing the Army Air Corps serial number 4248004. This occasion marks a new chapter for the Tampa Bay wing, highlighting their dedication to preserving and honoring aviation history. The Fairchild PT-19 was a cornerstone in the training of countless pilots who would go on to serve in the war. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Bud Anderson gone west. One of the remaining icons of the World War II fighter pilot community has gone west, Bud Anderson, at the age of 102. Brigadier General Bud Anderson shot down 16 German planes over Europe in World War II and became America's last living triple ace, passing away Friday at home in Auburn, California. Clarence Emil, or Bud Anderson, was born on January 13, 1922 in Oakland, California. He flew his famous P-51 Mustang Old Crow while assigned to the 357th Fighter Group, the Oxford Boys of the 8th Air Force Group, the first equipped with the Mustang. Anderson flew 2 tours while with the 363rd Fighter Squadron, and despite 116 missions, he survived without a single hit from enemy aircraft. Over the course of more than 30 years of service, Anderson was decorated 25 times with a stunning total of 5 Distinguished Flying Crosses, the Bronze Star, and 2 Legions of Merits. He was a life member of the American Fighter Aces Association and a fellow of the Society of Experimental Test Pilots. Anderson's legacy was a colorful one, buttressed by his long relationships with Chuck Yeager, Bob Hoover, and other legends. Anderson named his P-51 Old Crow. The name derives from the cheapest bourbon whiskey available at the time. Mostly known for his exploits in the Mustang, Bud's first Old Crow aircraft was actually a P-39Q. After these messages, 47th Annual Air Race Classic details confirmed.
I think it's a very important thing to share the joy and love of flying. Our customers fly to remote places. They use our products to go places that are difficult to get to. Parts has been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support, as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demands. And it is that shared experience and the joy of flying that brings us all back and charges all of our batteries up.
Welcome back. 47th Annual Air Race Classic details confirmed. Women pilots from across the U.S. and around the world will take off Tuesday, June 18th from Southern Illinois Airport in Carbondale for a 2,610 statute mile competition across 11 states that ends Friday, June 21st at Northern Colorado Regional Airport in Loveland. This year's ARC celebrates the 95th anniversary of that historic competition, marking the entrance of women into the air races. Teams will depart Southern Illinois Airport starting at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, June 18th, taking off one after another approximately 30 seconds apart. From there, the field will spread out as faster planes move ahead or as racers use their own strategy for when to fly. Faster planes may complete the route in only 2 days. Slower planes may not arrive at the terminus in Loveland until moments before the arrival deadline at 5 p.m. on Friday, June 21st. Intermediate airports along the route are in LaPorte, Indiana, Cadillac, Michigan, Newark, Ohio, Moni, Illinois, Owatonna, Minnesota, Moberly, Missouri, Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and Dodge City, Kansas. Teams will execute high-speed flybys over a timing line at each of those intermediate airports, where they may also land for fuel, a break, or an overnight stay. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching!